We're using the distributive property to factor out the greatest common factor. We use the distributive property to go back and forth with expressions and equations from factored form to expanded form and back and forth. The first step we do is find the greatest common factor of all the terms in the equation. My terms are 25p and 50q. All of my factors of 25p, I know 1 and 25 are factors. Not 2, not 3, not 4. 5 is a factor. And because I've listed all of my factor pairs already, 5 times 5, I know that 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, nothing until you get to 25 will be another factor. However, because we have 25p in our term, p is going to be a factor because you could divide 25p by p and get a whole number. So we include the variable in our list of factors. Our next term is 50q. I know we have 1 and 50 are factor pairs. 2 and 25 are factor pairs. Not 3, not 4, but 5 and 50 are factor pairs. Not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, not 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Nothing until we get to 25. And then because we have 55q, we have to add q to our list of factors. Sometimes you will have a variable. If it's common, if you have a common variable, it's automatically included. It's probably something to include. If you have a common variable in your terms, it's automatically included. So now we have listed all of our factors. We need to find which ones they have in common, and out of those common factors, which one is the greatest. I noticed we have 1s in common, 5s in common, 25s in common, and we do not have p's in common. So the greatest is 25. Once we have the greatest common factor, we write it outside of the parentheses. And then we divide each term in the equation by the greatest common factor. So 25p, that means 25 times p. 25p divided by 25 is p. It's just 1p, but when the variable has only a 1, I can see it's only 1, and we don't have to include a 2 or, a 1 in front of it. If we had more than one of the p's, then it would say a number there. And we are adding 50q divided by 25. I know 50 divided by 25 is 2, so 50q divided by 25 is 2q. We can multiply and divide with variables, and we can add and subtract with like terms, as you'll see in the other video. Once you have finished dividing each term by your greatest common factor, you're finished, and now your expression is an equivalent expression to this one, but it's in factored form. And we say it's in factored form because the factor, greatest common factor, is at the beginning. We can go back and forth between factored and expanded form. When you have it in factored form, you can expand it back out by multiplying. These parentheses mean multiply. 25 times p. We are adding still. And 25 times 2q. So 25 times 2 is 50. And we have the q that we are multiplying also. There's distributive property, factored form to expanded form. Oh, so we would read this out as 25 times the quantity of p plus 2q. Or we could say 25 times the sum of p plus 2q. As long as these, well, we know that these parentheses mean multiply. So anything that's inside of these parentheses is going to get multiplied by 25. It's always easy to check your work too. If you're factoring it, you can expand it to check your work, and if you're expanding it, you can factor it to check your work.